I find strange disappearances baffling yet intriguing. One of the most baffling disappearances in New York City history is that of Dorothy Arnold. This young woman vanished without a trace in 1910, and to this day, nobody knows what really happened to her. Stick around as we dive into this mysterious case that has kept people guessing for over a century. All right, let's set the stage. Dorothy Harriet Camille Arnold was born in 1885 into a well-to-do family in New York City. She was a bright, ambitious young woman with dreams of becoming a writer. Dorothy was not just a socialite, she was a woman who enjoyed writing and had aspirations of becoming a published author after her graduation from Bryn Mawr College. She was the daughter of Francis Arnold, a wealthy perfume importer and Harvard graduate, and Mother Mary. She was a member of a close-knit family that included an older brother, John, and a younger brother and sister, Dan and Marjorie. In the early 20th century, New York was a bustling hub of culture and change, and Dorothy was right in the thick of it. But on December 12, 1910, her life took a shocking turn. That day, she went out shopping and never came back. Her disappearance sent shockwaves through the city and sparked a massive search effort. So, why has her case captivated the public's imagination for over 100 years? Let's find out. On that fateful day, Dorothy had planned to go shopping on Fifth Avenue, a popular spot for New Yorkers. It was a chilly Saturday morning when she left her home family's opulent mansion on East 79th Street in Manhattan. She told her mother that she was going to buy an evening dress downtown for her younger sister. Her mother asked if she could go with her, to which Dorothy responded no. "When I find the gown I want, I will telephone you, and you can come down and see it." She had over $30 when she left the house. A hefty sum that would be over $750 in today's dollars. She left her home in the early afternoon, dressed elegantly, as was her style. But as she strolled down the street, something was off. Her friends reported that she seemed distracted lately, maybe even a bit troubled. In fact, just days before she vanished, she had confided in her mother that she was feeling a bit lost and unsure about her future. Dorothy's first stop was Park and Tilford, a prestigious candy store on Fifth Avenue, where she purchased a pound of chocolates. She then proceeded to Brentano's, a well-known bookstore, where she bought a book of humorous essays titled Engaged Girl Sketches. Her final sighting occurred between 1:00 p.m. and 2:00 p.m., when she encountered a friend, Gladys King, near the store. They exchanged pleasantries, and Dorothy mentioned she was planning to walk through Central Park. It was the last time anyone would see her. As the hours went by, and she didn't return, her family became increasingly concerned. Dorothy's family quickly started to panic when she didn't return home that evening. But her father wanted to avoid publicity, so he hired Pinkerton private investigators instead of going right to the police. The family didn't file a missing persons report until January 1911. The police began their investigation, but what they found was not what anyone had expected. Witnesses last saw her near Madison Avenue. Some claimed to have seen her talking to a man, but details were sketchy and varied. They contacted her friends and acquaintances, but none had seen or heard from her since that fateful afternoon. They searched hospitals and public records, including marriage licenses. Friends and family distributed flyers with her picture all over the city, pleading for information. The investigation revealed that Dorothy had no known enemies, and her family was well respected in the community. This only deepened the mystery surrounding her disappearance. The initial investigations turned up very few leads. The media picked up the story, and soon the entire city was buzzing with theories about what could have happened to her. Was it an accident? Did she run away? Or was there something more sinister at play? As time went on, the investigation into Dorothy's disappearance hit a wall. There were a few significant leads. Some claimed to have seen her in various parts of the city, and there were even unconfirmed sightings in other states. But these leads quickly fizzled out. In the aftermath, several theories emerged. One of the most talked about theories was that she had fallen into the Hudson River, as it was common for young women to take their lives during that era. Others speculated she might have been abducted or even murdered. Some believed she had eloped. This theory was bolstered by her past relationship with a man named George Griscom Jr.B., a Pittsburgh engineer 10 years her senior. Dorothy had met George in Europe, and their relationship had been tumultuous, with her parents strongly disapproving. However, George was in Italy at the time of her disappearance, and he insisted he had no knowledge of her whereabouts. The relationship between Dorothy and George Griscom Jr. came under intense scrutiny. Investigators discovered that in September 1910, Dorothy had visited George in Boston under the pretext of attending a wedding, although some accounts say it was to meet a college friend. During this visit, she used an alias rather than her full name, suggesting a level of secrecy. Furthermore, she had asked her father for $500 to buy clothes, which he refused. Her parents eventually found out after Dorothy pawned nearly $500 in jewels to pay for the trip. Upon her return, her parents would not let her see him again. But she continued to send Griscom letters. They last saw each other in November, just before he left with his parents on vacation. Despite these suspicious details, George was adamant that he had no involvement in Dorothy's disappearance. He cooperated fully with the investigators and even traveled back to the United States to assist with the search. His alibi for the day in question was solid, and no evidence linked him directly to the incident. Another theory suggested that Dorothy had been the victim of foul play. Some speculated that she had been abducted, and her family even received 2 ransom notes that were later shown to be hoaxes. Others believed she might have met with a tragic accident and her body disposed of to avoid scandal. One of the most persistent rumors was that Dorothy had died during a botched abortion, and her body was disposed of to avoid scandal. This theory, though never proven, was fueled by the societal norms and harsh judgments of the time regarding unwed pregnancies. A more controversial theory proposed that Dorothy had chosen to disappear voluntarily, possibly due to depression or a desire to escape the pressures of her privileged life. Friends and family dismissed this idea, insisting that Dorothy had been in good spirits and was excited about upcoming social events. Dorothy's disappearance had a profound impact on her family. Her father never recovered from the loss, believing his daughter had been kidnapped and murdered and died a broken man in 1922. Her mother maintained hope until her death in 1928, always believing that Dorothy would one day return. Even today, Dorothy's story serves as a reminder of the many women who have gone missing throughout history, often without answers. So, what really happened to Dorothy Arnold? Despite the countless theories and investigations, her case remains unsolved. Some believe she met with tragedy, while others think she orchestrated her own exit from her life. The unanswered questions continue to loom large, and her family never found closure. Now that you've heard the baffling tale of Dorothy Arnold, we'd love to hear your thoughts. What do you think really happened to her? Was it foul play, or did she disappear on her own terms? Drop your theories in the comments below. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of our future content. And if you enjoy delving into unsolved mysteries like this one, don't forget to check out our videos.